government officials insist that this is an isolated incident.
Warning. The following program contains explicit language and mature content. It is not meant for the easily offended. So if you are an emotional pussy, please refrain from listening. Thank you and enjoy.
Welcome back. Another edition of the Buzz Podcast. Your boy Cujo rolling solo today due to weather-related incidents and just life in general. Well, appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, all that good shit if you're not doing it yet on Instagram at the Buzz with 3 Z's podcast and also on our YouTube page. And as you see, we have another guest today. We have Bella Dillman coming from, what was it, KFOX, CBS combined? Or
Yeah, it's called a duopoly. So we
duopoly?
Yeah.
All right. Is that the way to get around the monopoly?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's the way to get around
it's a way for us to do news on multiple channels and kind of do different stuff on each one. So
Okay. All right, Bella. So you are on the, so you're producer / interviewer / what's your exact title? Because I know we interviewed with you when we did the pillow fight.
Yes.
So, like, what exactly is your title on there? Is it a jack of all trades or?
Yeah, pretty much. I wear a lot of hats.
Okay.
So my title is producer / multimedia journalist, and multimedia journalist in itself is like you shoot your stuff, you edit your stuff, you find the interviews, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So in producing the show, I put the whole hour together, and then in MMJing, I put like a special piece together, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word. So what got you into the business? Like what made you decide to get into this crazy business of journalism or just the news in general?
You know what? Indeed.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually, I majored, like my major is comedy writing and performance.
Oh, shit.
So I'm
Okay.
born and raised here in El Paso. And when I moved back home, I just searched pretty much like media jobs, El Paso.
Okay.
And they had a production assistant position there, which is basically like you roll the teleprompter, you get the mics all put together, that sort of thing. And from there, I just like moved up through the business, found out that I really love it. Like, I just love being under pressure.
Okay.
And it's like, the quick turnaround of like 24-hour news is something that it's like, yeah, there's a lot of pressure there.
Right.
And a lot of like having to think on your feet and move stuff around, that sort of thing.
Damn, that's great. All right, so before we go, can you move the mic just a little bit so we could talk in the middle of the mic?
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
So,
that's much better, huh?
just so
Not
I
so
can make
echoey?
Yeah, just so I can make sure that people hear exactly,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want them to miss the good stuff, So with media being what it is now, it looks like it's kind of it's kind of old school now because everything is, like you said, it's all social media. It's all shit like that. Like, is there a pressure on, I guess, as a producer to make sure that you're keeping up with the times, like you said, like you're able to, integrate a lot of local stuff and shit like that? Is there a pressure to keep up with the times now?
Absolutely. I mean, like, not only is it like constantly finding new and interesting people, but it's also like keeping up with social media trends. Like, a lot of people like look at my Instagram or they look at like our KFOX website or whatever, and they don't see like the entirety of what the show is, right? So it is like there's a lot of social media elements, there's a lot of that, but I'm constantly doom scrolling.
Yeah.
It is like you have to keep your finger on the pulse of current events, and then you're bound to miss stuff, because if you have an hour show, like there's so many hours of content that can be made, not by one person, but can be made in the history of time. So it is just kind of picking and choosing what you do feature and what is worth like the amount of time that you give it,
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be There's always something where you, on the outside, it looks like a great story, but once you start looking into it, it's like, dude, this sucks.
Oh yeah, I've interviewed
what's
a
your
couple
worst?
crazies.
What's your worst one, or the one that you've maybe not even had to, or you're deciding, you know, I can't put that on.
Well, it is more like sometimes when I meet a person in person who I'm interviewing, sometimes they just like, maybe they just don't give a great interview. Like they're very one word answers. And then it's just like, I can't use this. Like,
Right.
and that's what really sucks, because I know that everyone has a story and they have stuff to say, but it is like being able to advocate for yourself and like building a brand for yourself. And that's this, like, this new ARC show is very much like, oh, we're spotlighting people who are interesting. If you can't build that brand for yourself and it doesn't look good on like TV or social media, then it's like very hard to be able to feature someone even if they are really interesting.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because it's hard to get your point across if you're not able to articulate it.
Yeah.
Especially on, I mean, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You're talking the whole time, so
Yeah,
pretty
talking
big
about
thing.
yourself is a really important skill, which is like, so you don't get taught that like growing up. It's
Right.
like, I feel like it is such like a, oh, think of others. And it is that, like, you should do that. But it's like, you need to learn how to advocate for yourself and, you know, sell yourself as a person, because like in the society we live in right now, like that is such a huge deal.
Oh yeah. And it's, I mean, and it's like you said, it's been coming around with all sorts of reality TV and all this other crazy shit.
It's like, if you're crazy enough, you can have a TV show actually. So
And it'll hit like the craziest shit you could do.
Yeah.
The Kardashians are the best example.
Yeah.
They don't have. I don't think any of them have any talent. The most talented one was the sprinter, which was the stepdad, right?
yeah, Bruce.
Yeah, or formerly known as Bruce. I can't remember the
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn, there you
Yes.
go. Yeah, that was the most famous one that actually had any little bit of talent. Everybody else has just got famous because they came out on a porn.
You know what? It's OJ. It's always OJ. Like,
OJ
the dad
keeps
was on the
coming back.
team. The dad
Yeah, he
was on the
was.
team to defend him. And I think that, like, he knew how to sell his family.
Yeah.
Like, even post-mortem.
Yeah, because he died right before the show came out, right? Or
Yeah.
he was gone a while ago, before the show came on.
You know what? I don't keep up with the Kardashians.
No, I can't.
I don't keep
can't.
up with the Kardashians,
No,
sadly.
the roommate used to watch it all the time, and I'd come in, and I was like, "Why are you watching this shit?" I said, I'm not watching it. I was like, "Dude, you've been sitting down for 3 hours
Yeah.
watching this shit," and it's like, I hate when you see rich people living their lives, and we're just like, "Oh wow, that's awesome." I was like, "No,
Yeah,
what are you
it's
doing? How's that
not,
helping you?"
like-
all this half of this shit is scripted.
Yeah.
because it's like, come on, man.
It's the
Nobody does
producers
that.
behind the scenes being
Yeah,
like,
those
now
are
do
the
something,
magics.
now throw a piece of, or now throw some drink in someone's face, you know, that sort of thing. Like,
Let's
it
do
is
it
that.
again.
The thing
Let's run it back.
the reality TV that I cannot stop watching is like when it's kind of like normal people, but with a weirdness to them, like, you know, like the extreme cheapskates, like that sort of thing. Cause that is just
shit.
like normal people that I don't even know how they get on those shows. Like
Yeah.
they like pitch themselves or whatever, that it's like, I'm really cheap and I like take a bath outside in boiled water, or like something
Yeah.
weird. It's always so strange.
Yeah, but I mean, half of those times I'm thinking those shits are lit. There's no way. Like, I like the ones I can see are the extreme couponers
Yeah.
that I could see. That I know some people that I got coupons that I'm using the fuck out of.
I need to learn because
Yeah.
I have tried to use coupons and I feel like every time I do, I spend more money because I get more stuff than I usually would get at the grocery store. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, do I really need a pack of 90 hot dogs? Yes,
Right,
because I
yes.
have a coupon for it and it's 10 cents off.
All right, they're gonna sit there forever.
Oh yeah, I'm throwing away a lot of
No,
food.
but hey, see, but if you're one of those day preppers or the what are
the extreme meal
extreme-
prepper type
yeah,
people.
oh, your money. Then.
Yeah.
yeah, you could buy all kinds
put it
of
all in the
crazy
freezer.
shit. Yeah, I know people that have their garage just full of random shit that I know they're never gonna use.
Yeah.
But for the fact that they had a coupon, they bought it. It's like, dude, I don't get it. But then there's
Yeah.
some of those people, like everybody that came on in Jerry Springer, all that shit was wild. I mean,
That was so, like, wasn't he a politician before
Yes.
too? That is, I mean, like, how do you, that is kind of like my dream, like character arc.
dude.
Is like,
Dude, he got kicked out of mayor's office because he bounced a check to a prostitute. How amazing is that?
okay, you know the specifics.
Yes, I was a huge Jerry fan because back in high school, it would come on like at 9 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
And whenever we had early release or whenever we're off, once 9 o'clock came, I knew the house. All you hear is Jerry. That's all I'm yelling because the most outlandish shit. And then they just did a special on was it Netflix did a documentary on it.
Yes.
That
yeah.
was pretty interesting, man. These guys, I mean, and it turns out like one of the worst episodes they had is some lady who was looking for love and she couldn't find love, and she was an older lady and she finally found some dude that she loved and they hooked up, and then they came on Jerry because he wanted to tell her a secret, and it turned out that he used to be a she, then he turned into a he, but he's married to some blah blah blah. This lady actually ended up killing this fucking dude.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
like after the show.
Yeah,
like
after the show.
On
Like,
the show?
no.
On
After
the show
show
would be cool.
That would be even better. Yeah,
Ratings skyrocketing.
Through the roof. Oh yeah, like 2 weeks later, the news broke that this lady, when they got back from the show or whatever, that she just went.
Jeez.
I guess so. Everybody was, because you spill all your info to everybody.
Yeah.
Right. You give your whole life story. So everywhere she went in her small town that she was at, everybody was shitting on her.
Yeah.
Because of her, what she went through, what she said she did, and the fact that they ridiculed the hell out of her just for ratings with her.
Yeah.
And they ended up, this lady just lost her shit and ended up killing this dude. And then they're talking to the producers like, dude, you knew something like this was possible because you put the most outlandish shit.
They need to do like a psych test, a psych eval. Because, like, I mean, you do reach out to be on Jerry Springer or on Maury or whatever, or like daytime TV show. But it is like, they are putting people who are struggling on these shows. And then, stuff like that happens.
And then it was cool. What was, not that part, but what was cool was,
was
they would have, like they have like a lover's triangle come up. They were showing how the producers, like, say,
like, do cruel and unusual punishment on them to make them like fight better.
Well, they bring them in and they rile them up right before they go on stage. They're like, hey, dude, so this girl said blah, 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 blah.
Look at these screenshots.
Exactly. So they just keep gaslighting them up. And then they come out and it's like, wait, what do you expect going to happen? You know what I mean? Chairs go flying. I mean, then you had Geraldo when he got his nose broken by the KKK and shit like that. And now,
good TV.
Yeah. And that's what everybody will remember. But now it's like, I think everything's already been done that it's hard to top what has already came,
Absolutely. And I mean, it is like, sadly, kind of like what people want to watch, right? Like those are the shows that succeed. And like, as much as everyone can try to like put positive things out into media, the things that get more engagement are definitely the fights, the crashes, that sort of thing. Like the crash outs, the insane stuff that happens. Like, it's very few and far between that like a feel good story is like something that goes viral,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't nowadays. Now you have to be outlandish and do all these stupid, these challenges and these.
Yeah.
It's have you
and
guys?
some of them are dangerous.
Oh yeah. Did you ever try or have you ever seen the cinnamon challenge?
Oh yeah.
Did
I
you
was
ever
in middle
do it?
school when that came out, and yes, I had to do it at least 15 times with all of my friends just to prove that I couldn't do it. But then like I found out that people were like choking to death.
Yeah, man, that was legit. That asphyxiation because. You can't get it down, and and people panic, and shit hits the fan, and like, how do you explain to a loved one, like, usually be like, oh, well, how did so and so pass? Well, there was an accident, or he had health problems. No, he's like, oh, he's doing some cinnamon challenge, and he failed
On the headstone, it's like died by cinnamon,
died with a spice.
cinnamon related accident.
Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ, like how bad would you feel as a parent to be like. To have that fucking child, like, this fuck. And then the worst part is that it was your idea.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, I mean, I know some people who died in some pretty embarrassing ways, man.
Yeah.
Like, it is just like, if you have to tell, like, if you're a cop and you're going to the door, like, in a very, knocking on the door, like, telling the parents thing, like, how are you like, yeah, he died because he was doing whippets and he hit his head. Like, what do you do in that situation?
There's no easy way. But how do you keep a straight face at that, too?
Exactly. I mean, it's so sad, like, how stupid you can die. Like, I am, like, I don't do any stupid stuff anymore because I'm like, I refuse.
Yeah. To be a statistic.
To be a stupid statistic, stupid death statistic. Like,
that's the last thing you need.
Yeah.
All these accomplishments, but
then,
she died by doing the Sprite challenge.
Like, didn't the In Excess guy die from like autoerotic asphyxiation?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
And then that is the first thing I say. Like, I love In Excess, like the music, but like whenever a song comes on, I'm like, this guy doesn't.
Yeah, yeah, that's all I know. Like
All
same
my
thing with the
friends.
dude from Kill Bill, David Cassidy, who choked himself out when by pleasuring himself.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, that's all you think of now, regardless of all the stuff he did. You know, the
Yeah.
Kill Bill, Kung Fu back in the days.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, did you know who was this motherfucker?
No kink shaming here, but also like be careful.
Yeah, yeah, dude, these guys are wild. Yeah. How crazy do you think your life's got to be that you got to look for something like to be so crazy off the wall
Yeah.
that just
Like
get
just jump out of
satisfied
plane,
yourself?
man.
You
Like
think that would be enough?
I don't know. I feel like that's, or at least like do it with a partner. So if you pass out and die, then they could be
Blame
like
on the partner.
911.
Yeah, now we have a
You
murder
know?
accomplice.
Oh, yeah.
no, yeah. Now we got 2 charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the last thing you want to do. All right, so when the idea of ARC came about,
Okay.
how did that show come back? So we'll be coming back and forth just to keep it live, right?
Yeah.
How did the idea of the show come about? So what does ARC actually stand for, first of all?
Okay, so ARC is authentic, relevant community.
Okay.
So that's what it stands for. It wasn't really an idea from the station. They're doing, in like the company that we fall under, Sinclair, they're doing a like nationwide rebrand. But like the thing that we had freedom with is deciding what that meant. So when they came in and kind of said like, okay, this is what we're going to be doing. We have this new 10 a.m. show, like, and then the 10 p.m. With John Purvis is going to now be like this ARC thing. Figure it out. Like, you know, like figure out what you guys want with it. Like
Right.
the only guidelines are basically like it has to be authentic, it has to be relevant to now, and it has to be community based.
Okay.
So that came with a lot of, you know, pitching like, oh, I have this idea, and then them being like, nah, or like, yeah, like keep going. So the 2 shows are completely different. Like obviously the prime time is a lot more newsy, a lot more like politics based,
Right.
that sort of thing. And then the morning has elements of that. I mean, it is an hour, so it's like
Yeah, you gotta fill. You gotta fill.
let's put some politics. Yeah, but we also have like a lot of the like community spotlights, you know, the live interviews, like kind of trying to have a little bit more fun with people. We also have like little segments that are like kind of like social media-y, TikTok-y. Like we have a medical mythbusters where it's like, oh, if you have like a trend that you think may or may not work, we'll ask a doctor and see if it's really true. And then we have Bark on Arc, of course, which is like we go to the Humane Society and we spotlight a dog and we talk about like safety tips for pets. So it is like it has those lifestyle elements as well. But like what we're really trying to do is like be interactive, like do more stuff with social media that we could like field live comments and like start a conversation about those politics stories, like beyond just this happened and then this is gonna happen, and you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So I know when we were doing it, like I said, before we did the pillow fight, I think it was the day before the pillow fight, and you had us on. You know, once again, I truly appreciate it.
Of
That was fucking
course,
awesome.
happy to have you.
You told us, because I know you're like, I know once you saw us, you're like, all right, these guys are gonna cuss for sure. For sure, these guys don't know what they're doing. And so, if in case we did cuss, and I know there's a little bit of a delay for that, you know, for whoever to go in there and catch it. If it isn't caught, what's the repercussions on that?
I don't know. Well, it is just an FCC violation. We could get fined, like
Right.
that sort of thing, especially like before 10 a.m. or before I think it's noon or something. Like before a
Okay.
certain time, like you could say like maybe ass on the evening news.
Okay,
But
maybe, maybe.
See, I mean, I didn't major in journalism. I just say nothing.
Yeah, just keep it as clean as possible to
Yeah.
avoid all that.
Yeah, it is just like even the daytime newscasts have different like regulations than the night ones. So it is
Really?
like, yeah, it's just an FCC thing, and I don't think that I would hear tell about it past just like being like slap on the wrist, like, hey, don't do that. But like, in terms of like the station, like, yeah, they can get fined and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
there is something called an air cleaner where you can like press a button and then it like mutes the stuff, and there's
Right.
like a 10-second delay. But if it does make error, it is just something that we have these things called like a disc rep where we write down all the things that went wrong in the show because it is live TV, and there's, oh, well, the mic malfunctioned here, or like whatever. And so if that would happen, I would have to put it on my little sheet, and then I'd get a little yell at, and then
How many times has it happened so far?
The cursing, I think that the only time that I have gotten one through actually sadly was during like the impact statements for the Walmart shooter.
Oh shit.
Those were happening like during the show.
Yeah.
And that was the whole show. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, like, people want to hear that. People want to, you know, see what's going on inside the courtroom and stuff like that. Like, we didn't have a live feed or anything video wise, but you can have the audio playing.
Yeah.
So I had the audio on, and this woman was, you know, obviously very emotional. And she did curse a few times, and we just had to go back to show and, you know, apologize, like, sorry that you guys heard those, like, obviously this is a very emotional situation, and that sort of thing. And then we moved on from it, went on to other news, and then came back when someone else was speaking.
Okay.
So yeah.
So now with the nowadays everything is a trigger warning, you know, with the younger crowd, I guess they're, you know, for whatever reason. Do you, when you have something that might come out and be like a trigger for some people, do you have to come out and be like, hey, FYI, or do like a little explanation before a segment comes on and say this might be a trigger warning for some of you, or disturbing? Do you have to give that every time, or?
Not every time. It really does depend on the contents of the video and stuff like that. Like, we also are a station, like, we don't show anything that crazy. Like, we try not to, like, if it's like body camera footage and you could see like a dead body or anything like that, we usually stray away from it or blur it and be like, hey, this is going to be, but also, you know, like, when I was first starting producing, I started off as like an associate producer. Right. And so like that, a big part of that job is also like fielding all that footage, like going through 911 audio, and, there were a few where like people were involved, like teens were involved in like a shooting, and you could hear this kid, and you just kind of have to, like, at least me in that moment, I was like, I don't think that we have the information in this story. I don't think this adds anything. Like, it's just sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think, you know, when you're watching, you don't only watch your news channel, right? You see everything else just to see what, you know, competition or whatnot.
what they have, we always have to watch, like, oh, what are they leading with at this time, and that sort of thing.
Do you guys ever watch the Spanish news stations?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of monitors in the newsroom, and then so we'll have, there's 4, and we have 7, 9, and then usually ours, and then the Spanish news station as well.
Do you guys? So I know, like, in Spanish stations, they'll show everything. They don't care. I mean, somebody's they're bleeding, and they'll try to interview the son bitch. Like, these guys don't give a fuck. They don't care.
Like a mom crying at the, like, yeah, and
they'll be like, hey, so by the way, I know you see your child in this position that you never thought you'd see. So why are you feeling right now? Like, do you ever wish that maybe we could do something like that, or do you think it's do you think is it a cultural thing that, like, we always want to see and we always want to know why? You know what I mean? Like when, like, one of the things that you mentioned, the shooting, you know, with the Walmart, like, everybody wants to know that why from that person. Yeah. Regardless of what he says, it's not ever going to be good enough.
Yeah, exactly. It won't change anything, but still,
we didn't want that finality with us. Do you think we should be able to show stuff like that? So maybe when they show the crashes and they show bodies that got not mangled, but they got thrown out the vehicle. Yeah. That way people could see, look, dude, this is the outcome of this shit. You know what I mean? You could see it live,
like in a drunk driving crash.
Yeah,
or whatever.
It's not just it's not just words. You know, this is what happens. You don't think do you feel like we should ever show that shit so it could really hammer that point across, or is that just overkill?
You know what? I think that people seek that stuff out on their own. Yeah. And I think that it is, like, being a local news station, there isn't really a need to show, like, active carnage. Like, our main goal is to just be like, hey guys, like, this is gonna affect you guys on the road, or this is gonna, you know, that sort of thing. And I mean, like, just showing that extra thing, I don't think that anyone thinks that drinking and driving doesn't have consequences. Like
Right.
whether or not they care about those consequences when they get behind the wheel when they're drinking and driving, that's a different story.
Right.
But like that, just as an example. But I think that there's so much access to that kind of footage and that kind of stuff on the internet that there is no need for us to do that. Just because it's not like we're teaching anybody anything different than what they already know or have already sought out themselves online. And I know that there is like a morbid curiosity to that sort of thing, but in terms of like a local newscast that you're going to have on in the background while you're cooking dinner, I don't see why, you know.
It's like, it reminds me, we're supposed to have spaghetti tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like spaghetti on the freeway.
Yeah. 'Cause there's been a lot of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Do you ever get any, like when you meet somebody and they're like, hey, you know, I'm Bella and I do this, and that. Do people ever push back because of your job? Because I know there's always that, well, there's that, I'm not sure it's a stigma anymore. I guess it's that guilty by association if you're...
Right, like the fake news media, whatever. Like,
you got the fake news media. And then on top of that, you also got, well, if you're on this station, you lean politically this way and everything goes that way. And if you go this way, it goes the other way. Do people ever give you shit for that?
I think that people give me more shit when they don't, like, they don't give me shit, but they give, like, the news media shit, and then I'm like, okay, but I think that newsrooms kind of lean to what the population of the newsroom looks like, and is of course, like being in El Paso, it is going to be a pretty diverse like workforce. We always try to show both sides, and at the end of the day, like, it is more reflective of like the people who are working there, which at least in my station, I'm pretty sure, like, at least at the market that we're at, it's like a pretty young-ish population, and we're all, you know, active in our communities. Like, it looks more like that than it looks like, you know, super left-leaning or super right-leaning. We just want people to, like, know what is affecting them, especially here in El Paso. It's like, okay, so like tariffs are happening. This is how it can affect you. Like, I know that the word tariffs, it's like, oh, whatever. Like, and this is you. This is what's going to happen to you, instead of being like, oh, like, fuck this guy, or like, you know, that kind of thing. Like, it's not that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know, you know, with the new media coming in, and then you got all the talking heads with whatever side of the media they're on, you know, people are feel that the news now is not what it used to be. Because I know growing up, like you said, within the regional or the local news, you would have this kind of the same feel like in the nighttime, where on the big channels, like with the what is it, Nightline and all that.
Oh,
other
yeah.
shit. Like before, it feels like everything was all right. These are the facts. You decide whatever's going. And now everybody's pushing whatever agenda that they feel, you know, whatever that parent company is. When do you think that change started happening? Was it when social media started blowing up? Or was it before that?
I don't necessarily see that there is that kind of change. I do think that, like, it's not necessarily an agenda pushing, maybe. I mean, because even like in those newscasts before, like, whether it was just the facts or whether they were inserting opinions in there, they're picking exactly what you see.
Right.
So it is like, maybe there's not as much tact behind that, is what people might be seeing. But I don't think that it's ever, at least it's not supposed to be, like, inserting an opinion. I mean, I know that we live in a time right now where it is kind of difficult to, like, remove yourself from things that are happening in the world. Yeah. And I think that local news has changed a lot because not as many people go into it. It is just like people are going towards social media. So instead of, like, I said that, like, my newsroom is relatively young, that didn't used to be the case. Like, all the producers used to be, like, in their 50s, like, have been in the industry for however long and whatever. And now it is just people who, I don't think that it makes it worse, though. I do think that, like, people who are educated through college and may not have the same, I guess, how I said, tact as people who were operating in the newsroom before, but there's still like the same level of professionalism. And I do think that there's also, especially with ARC here, like a new level of creativity that's coming through in news, which is like something so, I don't want to say beautiful because that seems a little crazy, but like it's nice to see that creativity come about, because it is like, I think that media is something that you could be so impactful with.
Right.
And how many times have you watched a news story, like even back then, and been like, oh, this is awesome. Like, this is something I'm going to remember. And now I think we have more chances to do that with this creativity.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially when you said like with ARC going with the local, you're able to see, because I know when people, which was part of the reason that we started the podcast, is that every time you mentioned El Paso, the only thing, people would think about was like in Kill Bill was that one little church city where it's fucking tumbleweeds everywhere and a bunch of country folk. And it's like, dude, there is so much talent that nobody knows about here. I mean, it's not only just from homegrown locals, but people who come here from other places because of Fort Bliss. And we're such a unique cornucopia of people, because there's just so many random people put together in such a complex. It's like a small place, but it's not really that small. It's weird. It's hard to explain El Paso, because it's a big city with a small city mentality.
It is just, I feel like everyone knows each other, like in some way, shape, or form. Like, I'll go on Instagram and find someone from El Paso that I don't know, but I still have like 15 mutuals with them. Like, it is just like, I think that it's very unique in that we're all connected so close, like even just like 2 degrees removed from each other at least.
It's
like
wild.
It is really cool actually to see, like, and even the people who do come from Fort Bliss, like, they do bring like a different perspective, because I feel like El Paso can be kind of bubbly, where it's like little sheltered in some ways, and seeing people from Fort Bliss and like contributing to our community and their different perspectives is also like super cool. Yeah,
it's because with a lot of people here in El Paso, with the culture that we've been instilled with, is that if you don't move out right away, you're here for a damn near your life. You know what I mean? And now lately it looks like a lot of people are like even staying at home now for like they're scared to move out.
It's expensive out there.
It's bonkers, man. But I mean, I think that's just the culture that we're in. But I mean, with the people that you've met, like, what are some of the interesting people that you've met that you never thought you'd think about here? Like, it has to do with El Paso, or the artists that you've met here that have really blown your mind, that you're like, wow, these guys are from here.
Oh yeah, like there are 2 that come to mind, like right off the bat. Like there's a boxer / opera singer. His name is Robert Vega Jr. He is so inspiring. Like, he went through his young life being in a gang and spent, I think, like 20 years in prison.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he came out of that, went to UTEP, and became an opera singer and like a world champion boxer. And I mean, just seeing how far he's come. And I mean, this is someone I met through one of my photographers, Rudy Reyes. He's like, he's the type of person that will stop someone on the street and start a conversation with them and then find a story there. That is just such like a great resource to have in a coworker, but also just like something that I strive to do myself, because I mean, like, ultimately I feel like, going through my life in media, that's what I want to do. Like, I've always been a traveler and stuff like that. So I mean, like, being able to do that just like with someone that I meet on the street is just something that I strive to learn from those people. But he's just we sat down and we had like a 3-hour long conversation. Like, he had so many stories, and he's such a great advocate for, prison reform.
Yeah.
And he talked a lot about how a lot of people in prison don't have any hope, and he kept that through religion and stuff like that, but he came out of it the other side. He has a boxing gym, he has 2 beautiful kids, and it is just like really inspiring to see someone who like essentially like has hit rock bottom before and then come through that, and not even be like that old, and like still have had that whole life story behind them.
Yeah, that's an experience. Jesus.
Yeah.
And who's the other one that you said? Because I didn't say you had two. Who's
Oh,
the
yeah,
second
yeah.
one? No, I don't want to cut you off because it's.
You know what? Gangsters for Jesus was started here in town. It is a church group that brings in like current and former gang members and like tries to get them through that hard time.
Okay.
And the founder, I spoke to him at length, and he's not here anymore. He tours like all over, and there are places where he cannot go because he has a felony like under him, right?
Okay.
But he, like, every Sunday they hold church in the alley behind the Opportunity Center for the Homeless. And I went there and I went to that service, and it was just so beautiful, and everyone was so welcoming. But also, you know, like in the other alley on the opposite side, that's like where people from the Opportunity Center hang out. And I don't know if you're like really familiar, but the people who hang out behind the Opportunity Center, a lot of them cannot go in because they are like actively using drugs.
Okay.
And that's just not something that they allow at the center.
Right.
But they still are in the area. And then while I was there, like someone overdosed, and they just like continued, like everyone was really helpful, but also like continued the service. Like the ambulance came, and it is just so, it's great to see, because at least what these people were saying, like the people in the congregation, was that like when they were at their lowest, like unhoused, or, you know, committing crimes and stuff like that, they weren't welcome in the church.
Right.
And so just seeing people persevere through that, like, I know that people have a lot of opinions about religion, and I know that like church can be very intimidating and stuff, and but just seeing these avenues that people go through, like whether it be through religion or through like public service, like the Opportunity Center is also like so great. I did a story there about like addiction treatment and the resources that they have through there. Like just seeing people move through that and like have gone, you know, to the depths of the trenches, right? And then like now they're doing so much better. It is like a revolving door of like, you know, treatment there.
Right.
It's really cool.
That's not the dude who comes out, 'cause I know there's a guy on TikTok that comes out and he's like, he starts breaking down. He starts breaking down.
No,
He's like,
Jesus
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
No,
that
it's not
guy.
him.
Oh,
I
dude,
mean,
I
like,
wish it was.
I know.
Thought it was so
It
funny.
seems like it would be him, but it's not. But he's like, he has a very similar vibe. Like,
Yeah, that dude's wild.
Yeah. That dude is really cool.
When I saw that, I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, yo, this has got to be a skit. This has got to be something.
Yeah.
But no,
that
man.
guy also, like, this is not someone from El Paso or anything like that, but he was like fully on meth, and then he was like, and then I found God and Jesus Christ, and now he like preaches to a bunch of people. It's so crazy.
Meth is amazing.
Yeah.
It just makes you find God.
Yeah.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ. Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
don't
see
know
those little ADHD people with their Adderall pills.
Yeah. Oh, dude, for sure, these guys are wild with that shit. So I don't know if that's an endorsement for meth or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna say right here, just so I
Probably
don't get in
not.
trouble, that don't do meth.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty safe. That's a pretty safe message.
Yeah.
Don't do
He
meth.
stopped doing meth, and then he got famous. So if
Yeah.
you're doing meth, stop, and then maybe you'll get famous.
Oh jeez. Oh shit. Yeah, that dude's wild.
Yeah.
So with the news, I mentioned this before. I used to work for Clear Channel. My first job out of high school, I was at a radio station, and there is always if they weren't within the umbrella of your company, which was Clear Channel was what KA, AM, FM,
Is that
Power
Town Square?
99.9. Yeah, now it's at Town Square.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't within that, anybody else was like an enemy. If you see him out there, like he would almost come like fisticuffs, like it was blow for blow.
Yeah.
Are you guys like that with the other news stations, or is it kind of more like a kumbaya now? Or
Well, a lot of the on-air people are like pretty close, like they're like friends and stuff, but I do know that there's like some playful banter that happens. I don't engage with it personally because I'm like up to here with like responsibilities, so I'm like, I'm gonna focus on myself. But
you gotta do me, baby.
yeah. I'm like,
So-
yeah, I'm just gonna talk about eggs. I don't know. They're expensive.
So is the newscast anything? Is the news world anything really like Ron Burgundy shows on the Anchorman.
wish.
Is it anything? Similar?
There's some elements of it. I think really just like the news anchor personality is so fun to me,
Yeah.
you know, and it's not exactly Ron Burgundy, obviously, but like I do think it is the type of personality. We have like a few like reporters that I think are growing into that personality,
Really?
and then just like it's fun. Like it's fun to see. I think I would be Brick. Personally.
Oh shit! I like birds, loud noises.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know. I remember I met Chuck the Broder, and he was like as close as you could get to Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
That son of a bitch is wild, man.
It's funny.
It's crazy. Who's the most outlandish person that you, when you see them on TV, they're one way, but off camera they're not anything like they really took you by surprise by the way they are off camera.
Off camera. I mean, I want to say John Purvis. Like he no longer works with the station, but like he's probably like one of my bigger mentors, like through like the process of like doing news, but also like just a really funny guy. Like I saw him one time and he was wearing like a Starry Night t-shirt, and I was like, hell yeah. He's really cool. And I really love John Purvis. He's really funny. He's a really good teacher, but also like all of those things like in the news, like I feel like they have such a serious voice, you know, like sort of like like Robert Olguin too, like very serious voice, like Jessica, but I mean, it is nice to see them outside of, and they're just like, you know, happy, like lucky type people a lot of the time. And I mean, like, of course, in an office, there's going to be some like, it gets difficult, especially in such like a high pressure environment, but they're always at the end of the day, like everybody is like fine and like friendly and you know, that sort of thing.
So do you ever remember seeing the show on HBO, The Newsroom?
No,
never saw it.
I have gone, you know what? I saw that one, the like SNL type beat with Horatio Sands.
Okay.
That one is the one that I watched. So, I mean, like, infinitely worse. Like,
Infinitely worse.
not a good show, actually, but, like, very silly. The Newsroom, I have not seen it, though.
It's definitely a must watch.
I know. Everyone is telling me that.
And it gets you from the beginning. From the very beginning, the opening statement, this dude just loses his shit and goes off about... you know, I'm sure you've probably seen the clip where they're asking, some college frat girl comes out and says, you know, is America the best nation in the world? And there's three different speakers. One dude says, yes, because blah, blah, blah. The other guy's like, yeah, you know, the other lady was, you know, gave her answer because whatever. And the main dude comes on and he's like, well, yeah, because we got the New York Jets. And they're all like, no, I'm not going to let you off. I need you to give a real fucking answer. And he sees somebody in the audience, and he just breaks and he goes off on a tangent saying, look, we're not the best. We were the best. We suck at this. We suck at all.
Yeah, this is familiar to me.
From that right off the bat, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That show gets me every time. And then the fact that it has, what's her name that comes out on it? Oh, shit. It's not Olivia Wilde. It's, who's the other one that looks like her? Damn it.
Not good with names or faces.
Yeah, I can't remember. And I love this. Oh, is it Olivia Munn? That's Mum. I think that's her name. Yeah. Olivia Munn. Yeah.
The one who's now married to John Mulaney.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So she's like the brains of it, and then you see her gorgeous.
Besides
you know what?
the
like,
point. I never thought that I was gonna be in news, so I didn't know that I'd have to do so much homework.
No, but it's always good to to just be with, you know, even seeing, you know, the different sides of everything. I think is interesting.
I've seen The Sopranos. I've seen part of The Wire.
Yeah, well, I mean, you saw a dude overdose at church. So
I'm like, my life is crazy enough.
I got enough shit going on. All right, so you said you had gone for comedic writing and
comedy writing and performance, Columbia,
performance, okay,
College Chicago,
shout out Chi-Town, Chirac,
yeah.
So if it wasn't for this, where do you see yourself, or where would you think you have seen yourself if it wasn't for the new spot that you're at right now?
You know what? I mean, like, I always have wanted to be in a writer's room. So, I mean, like, just being able to collaborate with people in any respect in media is awesome. But I would like to get there one day, I think. Like, I was, like, one of the COVID kids of school, right? Like, with the 2020s thing. So, like, after, I feel like my comedy career really had a hard time recovering from me, like, moving back and, like, moving around after that. But I don't think that I'll ever, you know, give up on that dream because like even now with ARC, I feel like I have a lot more freedom to do like the silly stuff and like the personality stuff, and that's all. And I like the job a lot more now that I can. Like it was always fulfilling, right, to like get through a hard day and be like, and come out the other side and think like, oh, I had a good show. Yeah. But now that I'm doing kind of stuff that feels a little closer to what I, you know, envisioned myself doing in the first place, like it has really, it's really not taken over my life, but I'm much more excited to throw myself into my work. Okay. With that sort of thing.
Oh, I mean, and if you like what you do, you never work a day in your life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, you can't beat that. So, did you ever do stand-up?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I started doing stand-up here in El Paso when I was 18. I only did it a few times, and then, like, I took a break until I moved to Chicago. And I was I worked at the Laugh Factory there. I hosted the open mic. I had my own podcast, over there. Okay. And so stand-up was always like really great. I actually enjoy like SNL sketch type things more than stand-up because I love playing off people. Like that's something that I really like to do, and I don't think I'm interesting enough to talk by myself for a full hour. Like maybe interesting enough, but I feel like people would be a little scared for my well-being if I if I had strung an hour's worth of words together.
Well, I mean, most comedians do have some kind of, I mean, they're really depressed people when you really, you know, see the, you know, in real life, and they're not performing. You know, like, I mean, shit, Robin Williams took him, I mean, one of the funniest dudes, and, you know, it's crazy.
Kind of an epidemic in that community of like depression. I think that a big thing about that and a big reason why I've taken like a big step back from comedy is the like alcohol and drugs that are involved. Like with that, there are definitely sober comedians. I've met a few of them, not many, but I had to take a big step back because I got sober. I'm 2.5 years sober, and Congrats. Thank you. Yeah. It just like being in that environment that I came up while drinking and doing drugs like there, I wasn't ready, at least like in the beginning of my sobriety, to like hop right back in there and start doing stand up again. I feel like through like this show, through ARC, like through being on camera, which is very new for me, I have gotten a lot more comfortable with myself as a sober person, where I thought that I needed like a little bit of liquid courage or like that sort of thing before going on stage. So I don't think that I wouldn't be able to do it now, but it was just such a thing. Like, and then also just everyone is having so much fun, like when you're there at a comedy show and like drinking and whatever. But like, I just am not the type of person that drinks responsibly. So,
so who are some of the, because I'm trying to think off the top of my head, any sober comedians who that people would know. I think Sinbad, maybe I want to say Mike Birbiglia. I'm not sure. Wow. I mean like the ones that I met were like pretty much just in the Chicago scene, and then maybe now LA, but no one that like off the top of someone's head someone know. I do know that there is a famous one, but John Mulaney is, but he was also like, he did his like first comedy special and then like had a major crash out, relapsed, like went to rehab, that sort of thing, and then now is back to being sober. So that was actually like, that is the big sober comedian I think in the community is John Mulaney. But that, and comedy could be for some people, right? If you use it correctly, it could be more of a like a therapy session, right? Just get everything off your fucking chest and make people laugh at the same time, because there's always like, because I know that it's funny when you see certain comedians the mindset behind it. Like the greatest comedians have like a message that they're putting through when they're talking and trying to make people laugh, as opposed to just making stupid jokes.
Absolutely.
You know?
I really like a storyteller comedian. Like sometimes, like even if you like forget to laugh and are just sitting there and listening to this person's kind of like inspiring story, and then at the end they're like, haha, boobs or whatever, you know, like whatever. Like that is kind of the ideal for me, and that's kind of what I strive to do in like my comedy. And like I think I am more into like if you're familiar with like Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Fleabag, that sort of thing, like the theatrical version of a stand-up special. That is more what I enjoy watching than just like knock jokes type, or like, you know, that sort of like set up, knock down, punchline type thing.
So when you were doing comedy, who were you, I guess if you were to put yourself and say I was emulating, my style was like this person, who would that person have been?
I don't like to compare myself to others because I'm so different. But no, I mean, like I think that's where a lot of people get stuck in comedy, is that they're trying to emulate someone that already exists, and comedy is already such a competitive market that like there was like I would say I'm a shock comic. A lot of my comedy stuff was like based on my life, which was very crazy at the time, like being in college, being crazy. But like I don't necessarily think that I would go back into that if I were to do stand-up again. I think that there's definitely other things to say.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, for sure. So with going back to, you know, the whole newsman or anchorman and all that stuff, with the comedy background that you have, do you ever try to throw any of that stuff in the teleprompter and then see if anybody bites?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that there have been, in the history of me working in the news, 3 times where they have decided, okay, I'll do this. I mean, like, it's always for the funny stories or whatever, right? But there were a couple where, if you remember when Liz Dewicki was here, Liz Dewicki was like, that was a good joke. Like, and I was like, yes.
And is there ever somebody, no matter what you put, they read it word for word, like scripture, or do people...
Oh, they always go over it. But John Purvis was really like told me that he liked to preserve the, I guess, vibe of, you know, what the producer was trying to put on air. Like, obviously, if a joke went a little too far or whatever, like that, he was like, you shouldn't, no, like, don't do that. But like, for the most part, he did change like the cadence and stuff to what, like, his style. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of fun working on weekends because it was like the younger news anchors, and they would like play around with me and like even like pitch and punch up jokes like to the stories that we were doing. Dope. But John Purvis was pretty good about like keeping those pretty much the same. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's go. We're going to go into a, since we're coming up on the hour already, and I know you got more important shit to do than hang out with me. But we're going to do a little thing that we started doing called, 10 questions, and then this time I actually threw in a bonus question. So just random questions coming off the top. Okay. The first one would be, if the news team was a cast of a reality show from ARC, what would that reality show be called? Oh, that's a tough one. Maybe like In the Thick of It, or like Grinding Together. Okay, Grinding Together. I like that. Okay. Have you ever wanted to throw a mic at someone during a live segment? No, but there have been times when I have like the placement of the people has been so weird that I felt like I was about to hit them in the head. Not because I was angry, but just because it's just placement of it. Okay. What's the strangest story that almost made it to air, but you had to cut last minute? There was one about Alex Jones. Ooh. Where I go into like, it was when he was getting bought by the Onion, right? Like the InfoWars. And I was like, what is, satire? And then had people in the newsroom draw pictures from memory of Alex Jones. And my executive producer was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a no fly go right there. Yeah, Alex Jones is not so much as wild.
Yeah.
All right. So then this one's gonna start off. Be honest. How many times have you worn pajama pants under the desk?
Oh my gosh. With now that I'm on air, never. But before that, I want to say upwards of 80 times.
Damn. So that's a pretty. That's a
Morning
pretty good.
show. Morning
Yeah.
show.
Hey, I get it. Business on the top, pleasure on the bottom. Party on the bottom. All right. What's a news story that secretly made you laugh, but you had to keep a straight face during it?
I don't think I have one of those. I'm going to pass.
No? Okay.
No, sorry.
All right. Have you ever made up a name for a person or place just to avoid pronouncing it wrong on air?
Oh, not me, but the pronouncers get crazy in the teleprompter.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm pretty good with it, but
No? Okay.
yeah, we got a Michael Phillips instead of Michael Phelps sometimes.
Okay.
It is just like, yeah.
All right. Do you read the news to yourself in a dramatic movie trailer voice when no one's around?
I wish I could say yes because that's cool, but no.
No?
I just cry during it.
Oh, shit. That's not good. If you're crying during the news, you're putting it out. It's not healthy. All right. So if news anchors had walkout songs like Fighters or producers like yourself, what would yours be?
Mine, it would have to be the song that I used to come out to when I was a comedian.
Okay.
The Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh,
The Do You Remember?
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's because my dad died on the 21st of September.
21st of September. Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
so I'm like,
So that's a
I
memory.
remember.
Yeah, you remember this. Yeah, not to get dark or anything.
See, I mean, like half the things I say that are funny
Yeah.
to me, people are like, wow.
It's like shock. You did say you were a shock comic.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that works. What's a headline you wish was real, just for chaos?
Oh, literally any of the Onion headlines. I think that they do a really good job of scaring me for a second.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah,
like, oh
they'll-
my God.
Yep.
Oh, okay, it's the Onion.
Yeah, there's somebody always picks it up and then runs with it. And
Yeah.
It's like, they gotta retract it later.
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy. All right. What story do you wish you would have been able to cover or break either recently or in history?
In history.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'm like a big fan of Carrie Fisher.
Okay.
If I could have been like in the thick of it, like when she died, like able to memorialize her in any way, shape, or form. Like I know this isn't like El Paso based, but I'm like a big fan of Carrie Fisher, like obsessed.
Okay.
And so I feel like that would have been a cool moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for Carrie Fisher, she struggled with her addictions too, man.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
Princess Leia, right?
Yes.
All right. So the bonus questions,
Okay.
or question, I should say. How many times a week do some local news reporters look on FitFam to get some breaking news or leads?
If you've watched any of our shows, it's like at least 3 times a day, man. It is just like we'll see those videos. Like we want you guys to send it to us, but I
Right.
mean I know it's so immediate on Instagram.
Yeah.
But in terms of like for ARC purposes, there like maybe like once or twice a month we'll see like a very like heartwarming story or something like that and reach out to the people who are commenting and
Yeah.
do that sort of thing. Yeah.
And-
So
and
it
what-
happens.
With the social media and FitFam being so what it is, right?
Yeah.
It has its positives and negatives because it's trying to get the news out quickly, but a lot of the time it feels like some of the stuff isn't vetted.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel pressure to keep up with them, or is it just they got their own thing, let them in their own lane, or is it that we've got to be, just as breaking as they are? Because a lot of times that's where, I mean, anybody nowadays, especially when you speak to the younger crowd, that's their news source.
It's on
That's,
FitFam.
Yeah, it's FitFam. Everything
Yeah.
they get is on from there.
I mean, I could totally see that for like the spot news and stuff. There is some pressure, but I think that the important part about being like a news organization is that we we don't want to fear monger anybody. And like for the crashes, for the like DWI, that sort of thing, like I see why FitFam makes sense. But with like the big news of the day, like if there's a huge police presence, like over at Cielo Vista, if you remember, like a couple years ago, where it wasn't the Walmart shooting, but there was a shooting in the food court there.
Yeah.
And we couldn't say anything. Like we were showing people the police and whatever, but like we couldn't say anything until we found anything out, right? And it is just so easy to speculate. And that's the important thing about having like a vetted news organization do stuff like that, is because there's no stopping like wrong information, like, oh, I heard from this person or that person that this happened, from getting out onto a platform like FitFam.
Right.
They're pretty good about like not really doing that either. But it is just like something, there are a couple times where I was like, oh, this video is actually from 2 years ago, or like this, you know, didn't happen like where it said it did or whatever. And we really have to be responsible about that sort of thing, especially when it's big stuff like that.
Yeah, especially with because it's, I mean, it's better to be right than first, right?
Yeah.
Because I know that's one of the things that who was it? Denzel Washington was talking about. People would rather be first than right, which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
And that's where all the disinformation and all the not trusting certain outlets that, you know, like the Onion, like you're saying, the Onion,
yeah.
you get some off the wall shit. The last super bonus question I have. So next year when we do the pillow fight,
Okay.
if we were able to talk you into it somehow, rope you into the pillow fight,
Oh, I'm begging already.
Okay.
Like I would be honored.
who would you like to take on?
Who would I like to take on?
Yeah, who would you be your preferred opponent?
You know what? I would say my host, but she's leaving.
Oh, shit.
But okay, let me think. I maybe someone from the other stations. I'm not really familiar because I just stay in my own lane. But
Okay. So
yeah, or I don't know who I would want to take on. Just someone like that I could beat.
okay, yeah. I can't set up. This ain't Vegas. I can't set up.
just
I can't
fix
screw the
fight
odds.
for
Yeah,
me.
I can't fix them. I've tried. It doesn't work. Yeah. Because I was thinking. Because I know we had mentioned it before. I know we had talked about it when we were on with you. If there's a headline open for next, or a headliner open for next year, so. If you want to get,
You know what? I'll be sending you like just different people's profiles.
Yeah, well, hey, if you want to make it happen, we could do the Battle of the Airwaves News Edition.
Ooh, yeah.
Hell yeah!
I think it should be a cage match, like multiple. Like,
we can make it happen.
One representative from each station.
It's an overall winner gets the main lead all the time.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, that's something to think about. Now I got my gears working now. All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So next year we'll do it about. You're gonna be. If you want it, we'll headline you and we'll put you against. I don't know who we can find. We'll put Stella Casas.
Yes.
She's old as shit, so you should be able.
I could beat her.
You should be able to take her, as long as she doesn't have a heart attack when we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're straight. Yeah, because we don't want to be liable for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to be doing that.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, the news has such a high turnover rate. Maybe someone will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Then we'll definitely keep that in mind. Before we head out, any last words for anybody and everybody listening?
I would just like to thank you all for listening. And I hate to do a shameless plug. I'm so sorry. But follow me on Bella with ARC El Paso on Instagram. That's where I post the more social media oriented stories that I do. And the other day, I delivered a baby calf.
Whoa.
On accident. Like, I didn't know it was going to happen. So if you want to see a live birth, or not live, obviously, but a birth of a baby cow, go ahead and go to my Instagram.
How was that?
It was slimy.
Yeah.
I have never seen an animal be born in my life.
Was it traumatic?
No, it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Nature at its greatest.
Yeah, and my photographer was great. Got everything.
Oh.
Shout out Ethan Thomas.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And then so besides that, where can they see you? Where is ARC coming out on? What time?
Right. Okay, so ARC on KFOX14 at 10 a.m. And then on CBS 4 at noon and 10 p.m.
Okay. And it's not the same show. It's replayed, right?
The noon is replayed. The 10 p.m. is the more political one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I know when we did it, I was like, hey, look, we're going to come out at noon, so we'll check it out. And then, no, it's not the same show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like, oh,
It depends on a lot of the live interviews. They live online after that. But the noon, a lot of the stuff that like I pre-produce throughout the week, I'll put in the noon. So
okay.
Or like if there's any sort of breaking extreme thing happening, like Rito has been crazy.
Those
like
floods.
It's so sad,
dude.
And on a down note,
yeah, the best way to send off the show is with carnage. And
yeah. I work in news. I don't know what to do.
yes, we got to get you on the Onion now.
Yeah, I've been applying.
Well, we appreciate it. Bella with ARC El Paso is her Instagram handle. Make sure you check it out. The show was also we're on. Like I said, it's cool. It's a different feel. It's not your average, generic. Hey, this is what we're gonna ask. It's actually very similar to, like you said, it was the fact that you have the podcast background is very similar to just a live podcast.
Oh yeah,
when you're talking to people, and it's super cool. What you guys are doing is dope, especially because you're focusing on a lot of locals that nobody would have known existed, and you're able to help them out with either their brand, their company,
right, their music,
yeah,
whatever, their art. Also, like if anyone listening has like a shtick, like if you do anything, like definitely, like I check my DMs, I promise. Like, if you have something you want to say, if you have a story you want to pitch, go ahead and reach out to me, and I'll reach back out to you. Yeah,
for sure. That's how we did it. that's how we got. Actually, I think I asked your host to fight, actually, because Grizz had mentioned, she said, go with her, she'll do it. And then somehow that went from, hey, do you want to fight, to, hey, let's put you on. I was like, all right, cool, even better. Yeah, but like I said, I know you within the news industry, you guys are, it's a 24/7 gig for you guys, so I appreciate you taking the time.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Letting your hair down here a little bit, just to unwind a little bit with us common folk. But make sure you follow Bella with the ARC El Paso on Instagram, on KFOX, on CBS, local news, and then at 10 o'clock. Make sure you follow them, give them, show them the love that they give in the community, because it's always good to see the community support each other, because it's something that people like to say they do, but when it comes down to it, when you see people actually doing it, it's amazing. I appreciate everything that you're doing for all these people. I'm sure they're just as gracious as, and because it's good to have a spotlight. Like you said, everybody has a story to tell, and it's great to see when they're able to tell that story.
Absolutely.
So
thank you.
I appreciate it, guys. Till next time, don't be an asshole. Don't be a dick. Deuces.